Welcome to the What We Remember Rundown for Star Wars The Mandalorian Episode 7, Chapter 7, The Reckoning. My name is Bradley Jones.
My name is Andrew Moldenhauer.
And I'm Andy Hubert.
The Reckoning!
Whoa, look out!
Welcome to The Reckoning, someday.
It does sound like a wrestling event.
If they spell it with a W, I mean, we got The Reckoning going.
It's true.
The Reckoning.
Now it's the guy from Princess Bride saying
Oh, yeah, my way.
The Reckoning. That's what
Where are you putting this W?
Talk about.
The Reckoning.
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
Oh, jeez, the guy's getting real bad.
How many W's do you need?
I guess just the one would be sufficient, sir.
All right.
This episode starts with, we get a little message from Grief Karga.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to smooth things over with the Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. Hey, I know we're not on good terms, but hey,
Come on.
Come on, I lost a
back.
little, you lost a little. Let's meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I
Still
like
besties,
that.
though, right?
It's important to rhyme. Every time.
That's pretty much the gist.
It is.
Yeah.
He wants to have the Mandalorian bring the baby Yoda back to, what's this planet? Naruto?
Yeah, Naruto.
Naruto.
Gotta get back to Naruto.
Naruto?
It's been taken over by stormtroopers.
Yeah, the entire... Are they the Imperialists? Is
The
that what they're called now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they mentioned... He kept saying, like, yeah,
He called them Imperialist Guard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if we have Werner Herzog's name ever. They keep calling him, like, the boss, or, like, the gangster boss, or the Imperial boss.
I think we got it in, like, episode 1.
Maybe.
One time. They gave you one.
I don't know if we ever did.
I'm curious now.
I'd have to look
For a
in the
long time, I
IMDb.
thought he was Grief Karga.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure you get it once.
But we gave you
never
grief,
again.
We gave you grief for that. Karga style.
Ooh, got him.
Up on Karga style.
I give Andy Grief Cargo all the time.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, for those cargo shorts that he's wearing.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta
It's out
fill
of
these
style,
pockets with
come
all
on.
this grief, you know?
Yeah.
So you do this.
You're
bring
full. You're full up.
Yep. These pockets fill up at a 1-to-1 ratio here.
Wow, a lot
The
of
more
people
pockets
died.
you got, the more stuff you fill.
A lot of grief going around.
in those cargoes. You bring Baby Yoda here. We'll set up a little thing where you kill Werner Herzog. You get your name clean. You're off the hit list. You can even keep the Yoda.
Yeah, all good.
Okay,
Everything's good, dog.
first thoughts. What were your first thoughts? You hear in this plane?
I'm like, no.
right? It's like, this is too good to be true. You just don't do it.
No.
Yes.
You-
Now,
new episode, do something else.
in his defense, I'm pretty sure that the Mando thought the same thing. But
It was a horrible idea.
he finally did what I was expecting to have happen, where
Yeah.
they do the roundup, and he's like,
He puts the crew together.
gotta get the crew back together.
Who's a part of my tag team?
We get introductions again. Gina Carino is having this like fight with a guy who's an electric rope.
Yeah, who I thought it was the
Clancy
Kurgan.
Brown again?
Yes.
Okay, man, I thought her character was rad in her episode. She's approaching like Baby Yoda levels of like, I'm digging her character. I
Yeah.
think it's awesome.
She seems to open her mouth more when she talks.
Yeah.
Because she's always clenched and she just doesn't enunciate very well.
Brad, maybe you just don't understand what it's like to have real humongous muscles. But maybe
I
you
wish
know,
I
you can't
did.
just.
Especially hers. Oh,
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God.
She is ripped.
Oh yeah.
Well, it sounds like those jaw muscles are either really weak or very tense.
Well, you know.
She wins like a blood sport fight
Hell yeah.
and that same planet.
It was like the Star Wars version
Yeah.
of like the Michael Jackson video where they're holding on to the
That's
thing.
true.
And, yeah, the napkin. They can't let it go.
Yeah, Thriller.
Thriller. Sure.
Yeah.
or like that fight in Dune. Whatever. We can all make references that everyone gets.
Yeah. But no, you're exactly right though. It is also like.
It's like Dune. He's on the planet where the shrimps were.
Yep.
He never goes back to see the lady.
No.
He goes to that planet and is like, I know she's here, but I'm going to leave anyway.
Well, he didn't
Not even
wanna-
gonna drop to
she was
say
gonna-
hi.
He didn't want to break her heart all over
Leave
again.
her hopes
you know?
up. He could like saw her from the forest and she's like flirting with another guy.
She
And he
wanted
could have left
him.
all sad. Then it turned out like the guy was her dad or something, you know? Like a romance comedy.
The Mandalorian turns away and like a single tear rolls down his helmet.
Like,
where did the tear come from?
Trash is falling up by his feet.
He like crumples up a note that says like I love you and throws it on the ground. You're like,
it's raining, but only on him.
I'm so sorry. He had finally learned
Let
to
my
love.
love open the door.
Smell love, open the door.
Then a gust of wind blows the note into the village, and she finds it anyway. And she looks out there like,
This is great. This is
Birds.
He was here, yeah.
There's birds in the sky just from the woods. It's just all these birds just shoot out.
and then John Woo yells cut. You're like, wait.
So Cara Dune,
there was a lot of
Tom
candles
Cruise is
in
there.
here. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
so Cara Dune is like, nah, I'm not doing that. And the Mandalorian's like, well, it's an imperialist guy. And she's like, okay, I'll do it.
I didn't realize she had like a little rebel symbol tattoo on her face.
Yeah, she's all rebel.
And I was, it was awesome.
Yeah, they kept giving her shit for it too.
Crying more and more and more.
They're like, you got to cover that up.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be very familiar with these Republic or
She's prideful
rebellion
of that
shock
stuff.
troops. I was also, I came out of her episode not clear if she had been like an Imperial shock troop or rebellion, and it was definitely like Republic rebellion.
In my brain, she's wearing like sweet, like Iron Man style armor.
Right?
As a shock trooper. When are we going to get that moment?
Yeah, where's that stuff?
I want to see the shock trooper version.
She's got to get a little
The
container of whatever that
She
armor
looks like she
is.
fell out of the Warhammer universe into the Star Wars universe.
She's got to
with
go
a big
see.
hammer.
She's got to go see the ex-shock trooper blacksmith.
I wanna
and
see
have
it.
her scene where she gets her whole armor.
Rocket
made.
boots, giant hammer, guns. I want to see all of those things.
I would love to see her like with a giant hammer, just wailing on dudes. That'd be amazing.
Is this tattoo like having like a swastika after World War II?
Whoa.
Well, I
there.
mean, but the Republic was the good guys, Andy. This is like having an army tattoo.
Okay, okay.
And then hanging out.
I don't know
in,
which
like,
side was
German-
which.
yeah, Germany, yeah.
And then she's like, "You can't take the Baby Yoda if we're going to be going, fists out into something." And he's just like,
Yeah.
She's like, "Who do you have that can take care of?" And I was like, "They're going back to Tatooine."
Yeah, I
nope,
thought that.
like it was not.
Nope.
They weren't doing that.
No,
I was
I,
like,
I thought immediately that
I
Nick
know.
Nolte was coming right
"Oh,
back.
were you?" I thought for sure he was.
Yeah.
Going. I was like, "He's
My
already."
first thought was Nick Nolte.
I was like, "He's got a babysitter lined up back at that auto parts shop."
No, that lady was too wacky.
Yeah, she'll show up later.
Yeah,
but-
probably.
She's like manic.
But you're right. So he goes back and meets up with him,
And then we get a montage because Quill, which is the name of Nick Nolte,
Yes.
found the IG-11
And
put it back together and raised it like a child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taught it how to love again.
Did we need that sequence?
No, it just
where
bad
was
the
like,
episode.
Not
I
really.
put it together step by step, and I'm like, okay, they're drawing this out longer than it needs to be. They're trying to humanize this
They
robot.
show the
yeah.
evolution.
I was
of
like,
the
okay, they're trying to
IG-11.
make it
I'm
seem like a
like-
human.
Well, they do set it up for a
I'm
reason.
100% confident
end up setting
it's
up
an
for a
important
reason.
scene after the next episode. It's
Yeah.
for sure going to be like a wow, like this thing that dealt with rebuilding this robot is what saves the day or something. And
Because Quill's
gonna be a
point
thing.
is that it's programming. It's not its choosing.
yeah,
And if it's raised by someone bad, it'll be bad. If it's raised by someone good, it'll
Yep.
be good.
He's
and
like
then we get a
the-
glimpse of that almost like right away when Cara Dune and the Mandalorian are having arm fights. What is it called? Arm wrestling?
Arm wrestling.
Yoda thinks the Mandalorian's getting hurt and starts to choke Cara Dune
And this-
with the
yes.
evil force power.
This is
Yeah.
interesting,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering too. Like in the previous episode with the space prison heist, he had like reached out at the droid, and I wonder if he was trying to choke the droid, and he's like,
Possibly.
"You can't choke a droid." So I'm wondering if that was what he was trying to do. And then in this one, he was just like, "Now I get it."
But you can choke a bow.
Ooh, that's true.
You can't choke a bow.
Oh, I like that. I like Final Fantasy references.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So she gets choked out.
Yeah.
And then they have
And then
like
they're
a big
like-
And all of a sudden, we're like,
internal fight.
"Oh
This is
shit,
serious.
Baby Yoda, dude!" What
Yeah.
the
He could
F,
choke.
guy?
He
could
got
kill
that
people.
little like angry face going
was-
on
yeah.
too.
He was getting a little
He got
that
a little
Hayden Christensen
intense.
eyes going on. He's like, "Oh, I'm about to kill
Oh.
some younglings."
I'm getting a
you
little
know?
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic where you get to like balance out your
Yes.
good and evil forces and like which one ends up on top.
Yep. Which is
Like Yoda could be evil.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Train you the wrong way, man. You know.
He's gonna use lightning power.
See, and this
soon.
is why the Jedi had to kidnap children from their families
no.
at young
Whoa.
ages
Hey.
and brainwash them into their following their old
Justify
religion.
that. No.
Yeah.
No.
And Cara Dune and Quill have a tiff because Quill used to have to work for the Imperialists, but not really. He was an indentured
enslaved.
slave.
Yeah, we've because
Eventually, like, paid off his debt, but like Cara Dune like just won't let it go.
No, stop! We're friends. Kara is my friend.
That is not okay.
Very curious.
Curious? It almost killed me.
The story you told me of the Mudhorn now makes more sense.
What is it?
What it is, I don't know. But what it does, this I've heard rumors of.
What? When you work for the Empire?
When I was sold to the Empire in indentured servitude,
Yet somehow you walk free.
I bought my freedom through the skill of my hands and the labor of 3 of your human lifetimes. Do not cast doubt upon that of what I am, nor whom I shall serve.
She is like so anti-empire, like love and the rebellion that she abandoned. That she even slaves of the empire. She's like, nah, dog.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Like,
you help the empire
all
in any
right,
way, you're
let's
evil.
Rein it in,
Yeah,
little girl.
It's fun to like play with
Think about
the
20-30% off there.
what people are thinking though.
Yeah.
You know, she could think like that, but
And yeah, I mean, I do like too that the Quill points out. He's like, yeah, like she's like, oh yeah, when you were working for the empire. And he's like, when I was enslaved for years, and I live longer than humans, so I was enslaved for a long time. And I was like, I feel like the empire didn't exist that long. I don't think you could have. I feel like they were only around for like 20 years.
yeah, I don't
Time
know.
for Luke to grow up.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, Luke was 17.
Yeah, that's not very long.
17 years of
not
empire
that long.
rule.
Wow.
But it was a strong one.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
Well, I guess if you put that in
took over in a
context to
hurry.
like,
I mean, you could
like,
also
like our time.
yeah.
I'm sure that you can look at a bunch of different countries that for 20 years maybe they had like communism and then
like-
like something fell apart.
Or like a
and then it
Genghis
turned into
Khan
democracy.
ruler, or like Alexander
right.
the Great ruler. Like they had years and years of
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
rule
that's
conquering.
And there's
yeah.
also, I mean, it could also be depending on when you determine the actual start of the empire, whether it's specifically like end of episode 3, Palpatine has risen, is like, now this is my thing, or it could even theoretically be around the time the Clone Wars start almost, where because that's like when they finally have an army and like they basically start taking power and doing crazy shit.
And I guess the original trilogy too is just about like this new power taking over to the point of like almost being able to destroy entire planets. So like they have to take it down. So
Yeah.
it's about this like force that's like becoming powerful super fast too. Because if you think about it, like 20 years not very long. If you're doing like a whole movie on the Star Wars of this whole galaxy,
Right.
You probably want to pick the one that's like the biggest, right?
Probably.
So like, who are the other people that are controlling the governments of these?
It's kind of crazy. I mean,
galaxies?
it's like not to get political, but we've been in Afghanistan for as long as the empire existed in the Star Wars universe.
yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
kind of nuts.
Yeah.
We're the empire.
There's no way to get out of that country.
Mandalorian says, "Hey, my baby Yoda's been sleeping bad in this tin can of mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you make him a better thing?"
Yep.
And then Quill just makes that same bassinet again.
I know, just keep the bassinet,
chapter
man.
He even says like he
same one.
like looks at the thing too. He's like, I'm not even going to modify this one. I'm going to build a whole new thing, and then builds the best thing. I was like, he just had those like
the
blueprints.
same one with the
You
floating.
remember the
armor.
one that floats? I'm gonna just get that from the trash. It's back here.
Yeah, he's just been
All
on
right,
this
here
shit the
you
whole
go.
time.
Oh, I built it.
Cole just finds it. and He's like, I made this.
I made this just for him.
I made this.
just dusts it off of the corner.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like spit shining it.
It just happens to look like that old. Don't worry about it.
So he lands on the planet.
And they bring the blurgs.
They bring blurgs.
They do bring blur.
And they bring IG-11, though we don't see him that much.
Yes.
After this part, but they land, and Grief Karga's there with some henchmen, I want to say.
I liked the outfits these henchmen dudes had. They had some neat armor and like some actually interesting stuff. So I thought they were kind of a
I'm
fun
sure they're all like
flavor bit.
references or
They didn't
probably
say
something.
anything.
No, they didn't have
Didn't speak at
personalities
all.
or anything.
Yeah, one of the dudes kind of had armor that like was reminiscent of like Boba Fett, where it's like green chest plates and like a yellow shoulder piece. And
Okay, now wait a second, guys. There weren't 3, there were 4 guys.
oh,
Don't forget about the small guy that got stolen by
Fair
the
enough.
dragons
That's a fair
that they
point.
ended up not saying a goddamn thing about
Yes.
in the next scene. No one mentioned the fact that the one guy got taken away.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was even numbers for some reason, but yeah, you're right.
You're all right. I mean, that whole scene, I actually
didn't even talk
wrote
about
like
it.
I wrote down like this: the flying creature attack.
Well, let's get to that in a second,
Yeah.
but because it happens pretty fast. There's some moments of like distrust to trust here. Grief Karga wants to see the Yoda and play with it. Maybe like he's gonna steal it. We don't know when. Like we know Grief Karga is up to something. When he's gonna spring it is the surprise.
Yeah.
So far he's putting on a front that everything's kosher.
Yeah, or that like he just wants to get back to regular Gildan.
Yeah.
and the Empire won't let him.
There's like a lava area wherever their planet is. Seems
Yeah.
like there's like it looks kind of like episode 3 in a way.
A little bit.
And they have a bonfire where they get a goat, a CG goat, and they burn it and eat it.
And there's one scene with some really bad audio sync
Oh yeah,
where it was like where they're talking with Grief Karga's talking to the Mando by the fire or something, and it transitions from the close-up shot of the two of them to a really long shot of the campfire, and he is clearly saying something else
I
at
didn't
that
even
point.
notice.
Like, that shot did not line up at all, and then back to the close-up shot. It really bugged me.
Yeah, they had to cover it.
Yeah.
They seem like they're bonding over this campfire. Everything is going together. Grief Karga goes to take another leg off whatever's on the roast, and then pterodactyls or something. I call them dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah.
I call them pterodactyls.
Yeah, I don't know what they were,
Are
but
they
they look like dragons.
Minox? Or like
They were way too big for mine.
Yeah, they
I
were
would
too-
think.
they were-
Well,
they're like
who
their own
knows? If
thing.
I go on Wikipedia, they're probably like, they could grow up to 6 meters in
Minox
length.
is actually a very
They're
versatile
actually
animal.
venomous.
It's actually an offshoot of this animal.
To know more, pick up this massive book, The Guide to Biology in Star Wars.
I wrote it.
But it gets
It's my favorite.
It takes out a big chunk of Grief Karga's arm.
Yeah.
It steals a blurg. It steals one of his henchmen.
Man.
It almost steals the Mandalorian.
Yep.
I was genuinely saddest when it stole that blurg. I felt for what's his
Yeah.
face.
I felt bad too.
I
Yeah, I
felt
was
bad
like,
when the blurg that didn't get stolen still like fell down and had a bad time.
Yeah, it was that like because it got scratched up and the dragon fell on it when what's her face shot it a bunch.
Yeah.
And I was like, that blurg gone too. They're all dead. There's only one
I think
blurg
that's
left.
funny. It fell down and had a bad time.
Just that blurg.
Yeah, poor blurgs. They get transported, millions of miles across the galaxy
To a foreign world.
stabbed by
to
some
get
pterodactyl.
Taken away by a pterodactyl dragon.
Terrible.
Man.
And then, which it almost felt like this fight was thrown in because they were like, we gotta have a fight. We haven't had one yet. Just have one real quick.
Well,
And
not
then,
just that.
then it became apparent that this was so that they could redeem Baby Yoda's force choke from earlier. They were
Yeah.
like, we can't let people think Baby Yoda's going full bad.
This was the first time that Baby Yoda got to actually use the power and show it.
This might be the first time that force healing has been in a canon.
It was alluded to. He tried to do it to the
Property?
Mandalorian in
did.
episode 2.
and it's
but
been a thing
it
in
never
some of the
happened.
video games. It's a convenient mechanic for regaining health in like video
But
games.
Grief Karga's even straight up like poison too.
Yeah.
In addition to the cut he's got.
And
The
Cara Dune
claw
has some
marks.
like cool like tricorder scanner
Yeah.
that she's
She
just
tries
like,
to do,
the
like-
poison's moving.
She tries to be like medkit person, but then like the other bounty hunters like don't have anything or can't.
I
help
thought that
at
was
all
funny.
anyway.
Another one of those video game moments. She's like, "Who's got a med kit?" And everyone's like,
Here, I didn't bring it.
"Who brings one of those?"
I didn't think I needed to buy one.
I used it in the last fight. I didn't think I'd have to save it more. My health bar was at 90 instead of 100.
And Carl Weathers' acting gets a little Carl Weathersy here.
It does.
but
What do you mean?
You're not wrong about that.
What do you
Andy,
do?
you know what we mean.
I might have not been paying attention
Oh,
to his
this
he
acting.
just looks like
guy.
he's phoning it in a bit.
Yeah.
but, you know.
He's just like laying on a rock.
It was
It's
one
like
of those-
my arm. It's got a
He's
tray.
just
bitten.
saying.
It was one of
things
those where
without
he was
emoting
just like,
things.
I felt like
I'm Carl Weather.
he seemed to be indicating that like he was kind of like, this is some goofy Star Wars stuff. Like he's just like, oh, I'm poison in my arm. Blub, 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 blub. And you're like, okay,
Move it along.
yeah. Baby Yoda just straight up heals that stuff.
This part's also like the movie Pitch Black, which I would.
Ooh, yeah, kind of is.
Yeah.
It's they're only like lit by like torches and stuff. By the things coming out of the darkness to get them.
Yep.
It's the next day. They are walking along, getting up to where they need to get to. Grief Karga's talking with his bounty hunter people. You don't really hear what he's saying. Mandalorian's hanging back. They get up right to the town, and then Grief Karga quickly turns around and shoots his own men.
Yeah.
Boom.
Good shots. Impressive. And then he
He
tells Mando.
reveals like the plan.
Yeah. He's like, hey, we were
This is where we
definitely
were gonna
going
kill
to
you.
double cross you.
At this exact spot.
But then the Baby Yoda healed me, and now I'm on Team Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
He flipped. He's a flip flopper.
And I was like, I don't trust anyone that wasn't on Team Baby Yoda from day one.
Did he ever? He never saw.
never saw it
Team
until
Baby
now.
Yoda.
He saw it
team.
earlier. He saw it when they came out of the ship, didn't he?
Well, and he
No.
loved it. He was
He
like,
did like
he's like,
it.
it's cute.
He was,
I could see why he wanted to keep this thing.
But it wasn't until Baby Yoda healed him that he was like, yeah, you all right. And that's not okay with me.
I don't know. Well,
But no, yeah, he is full on like
he was half on, and then later on he was full
he's like
on
yeah,
because
full-
like
he went full Baby Yoda at the end.
Baby Yoda healed him, and of course you'd be on Team Baby Yoda if you just got healed
Yeah,
from a
man.
poisonous dragon pterodactyl.
I'm on Team Baby Yoda with Carl Weathers. I think he's okay.
Yeah.
But
I think he
we'll
gets
see.
a
You're
pass.
still skeptical?
At how this episode ends, I feel like he's just as much as the weeds as everyone else.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So they get up to this place and it's overrun with stormtroopers.
Yeah. Well, they come up with a new plan.
Yeah.
first. So they
Right.
they send what's his face,
Quill.
back to the ship with Baby Yoda on the last blurg.
Which I was like, why would you guys walk all the way to that point to tell him to go back?
Well, everything was going to as planned until Grief Karga shot his own men.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's true.
Things changed.
It
So-
did change.
Plans changed.
Yeah, so he sends him back and tells him to like turn on defense mode on the ship. And I was like, where was that when the Jawas took your ship apart? Did you not? You didn't.
Not gonna
you
argue
didn't
that.
Click, you didn't click the lock button on your little key fob when you left the
there's
ship.
some conveniences.
Damn it, I left my keys in there. Well, fuck
Yeah, you
it.
gotta
They'll
be
be
like,
fine. I'll come back.
But yeah, it sends him back to the ship and says, just hold up there until you know we take care of the town.
We get those stormtroopers from the Keshik Ewok village with the visor helmets.
They're scout troopers.
Oh, the scout troopers, sure.
with their classic speeder bikes, like the same speeder bikes from that one.
Chet,
They're probably the same two
Chaz
speeder bikes.
Are there hanging out?
Yeah.
Chet's like, I'll buy that sweet helmet of $20.
Just chilling.
Check out my spoder bike.
Check out my spoder bike, guys.
Just putting some new flame decals on the side.
Me and Chaz were up late waxing it last night. Totally just shredding the gnar on these things.
Oh, dude, you wouldn't believe it. Got total air.
Totally digging that bike, broski.
So hot. How about get the helmet? 20 credits, bruh. I'm giving you the deal. But they get past all these dumb
They wander in.
stormtroopies.
Town is
Yeah.
full of dirt troopers. I'm calling them dirt troopers because they
They're
can't be
so-
bothered to clean their armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Just
look
dirty
disgusting.
troopers.
Right.
This is for a reason. But yeah, so they
Werner Herzog is hanging out at that same cantina.
Cara Dune is like, dude, we cannot fight all these
Yeah,
guys.
there's a lot of
This
people.
is not.
Yeah, there's 4 to begin
okay.
with, and then as soon as they sit down, like
Yeah.
2 more walk in.
Carl Weathers keeps changing the number of how many people they're going to have to
She's
deal
like,
with.
you said there were 4 dudes total. He's like, well, 4 guarding Grief Karga.
There was like one guy that just walked out from like being behind a pillar. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, he's there too.
There's like a guy sneaking up behind him from the bench.
Yeah.
Looking over. There's a guy that comes out of like the ceiling tile, look down.
Yeah.
There's like way too many stormtroopers here now.
One dude peeping up from behind the bar, like,
Yeah.
Up periscope.
I don't know about this.
Down periscope.
Teeny tiny guy comes out of the blender, a baby, like a little stormtrooper.
I'm a small one.
Don't hit the button, I'll get blended.
It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I'll take a bath in here. Nobody hit that button.
I can barely hear that one. It just sounds like a big whine.
Oh boy.
I want to see a little stormtrooper now.
Yeah.
Like a shrink ray.
They're not allowed to exist because then it would just be people making jokes about, aren't you a little short for being to be a stormtrooper?
You need a whole series about a special stormtrooper that finds a baby stormtrooper.
Lil Stormy.
Little
Stormy.
You can't do that now. It's 2019.
Oh man. So Herzog gets to chew the scenery.
Yeah, for like 5 minutes.
He wanders around
Yeah.
just being Herzog, being like,
For 5 minutes, he asked to look at the baby Yoda, and they just keep on like skirting the.
this dude,
skirting
they were
the
like,
thing.
he was like,
It's sleeping.
open it up. Oh, well, it's sleeping. I was like, okay, if you're Herzog, you're immediately like, it is not in that bassinet.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let me see that baby Yoda. No, it's like really tired
Must
or whatever.
open the
I actually
the
forgot the
bassinet.
button to open it, like back at the place, so we can't open
This
it.
is exactly like a scene in a drug deal movie where it's like,
We want to see the
well, why don't let's just put flour in the bag and then we'll sell him this for $10,000 and we'll be good. And then it's like, well, what if he just tries it right away? It's like, well, damn it,
Yeah.
damn it, I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, meanwhile, Herzog's just like, I understand your trepidation at showing me the bassinet baby Yoda.
He seems very calm and collected.
That's a good impression.
Just using every big word that ever existed to convey what he wants to say.
Comment how nice the Mandalorian looks again.
Yeah.
That Beskar armor wielded by a person who knows how to cut it.
Yes,
Looks great on the Mandalorian.
just
like,
being Werner
massaging
man.
his
Oh,
back
yeah.
during the whole scene, like sneaking out with like
Looking
oils
so
and thing.
good.
Oh, this is the Beskar.
I'd be like, oh, okay.
Werner.
Now I know why you had a container of this stuff.
Oh, was he doing stuff with the container?
He's got like a Scrooge McDuck vault of that shit. He's just diving into it. And he's
More like a cum tainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
let's
only
move
a
on.
container.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
What exquisite craftsmanship. It is amazing how beautiful Beskar can be when forged by its ancestral artisans. can I offer you a libation to celebrate the closing of our shared narrative?
But then he gets an important
my
call and
God.
has to leave.
Yeah. my wife
got
is
to
calling
make a
me
phone
on the other
call.
phone.
to take this call.
I'm
I
so
have to
interested in opening the Baby Yoda bassinet, but I will wait a few more minutes to go
I
take
must
that
say,
call.
Andy, you have the best impression. It's so good.
Yeah.
But he gets a call from a Moff, which I don't know if you are. I mean,
What does that mean? I wrote his name down.
Moffs.
Moff Gideon.
Moffs were like regional governors of sections of the galaxy.
Like Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, Tarkin was a Moff. Yes, exactly. They're basically like just below the Emperor in terms of like importance.
This guy played by Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes.
Juan
yes.
Carlo.
Juan Carlo Esposito.
Esposito. From Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's his big thing, right?
And he was awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, how is he not gonna be?
Freaking amazing.
He owned that chicken stand, though. The El Pollo,
El Pollo Loco.
Yeah, he owned that.
Isn't it Pollo Hermanos?
Pollo
the Chicken Brothers?
Is it what? Is that it?
I thought it was Pollo
What's the
Hermanos.
crazy chicken's from something?
Yeah, there's a Pollo Loco from something.
Maybe it's in the Tarantino universe. I don't even know.
Yeah,
You might be right.
But he has a bunch of like. So okay, hold on. So Werner Herzog goes to the bar to
Yep.
take this phone call.
Yep.
It's like Emperor style, where it's a little
Hologram.
a little guy, and then as soon as the phone call is over, lasers come shooting in through
Well,
the glass
yeah,
and just like kill everybody inside that cantina.
I looked away
Who
for
isn't
like
named
a
who aren't the
split
main
second, and I
characters.
thought Cara Dune was wasting people. I thought that, like, I was sure that was what's happening. I thought it was also funny that like he answers the call, and the Moff is basically like, "All right, what's going on?" And he's like, "I was about to see the Baby Yoda, but then they said it was sleeping." And the Moff's like, "Dude, it's not in there. I promise you." Like, he knew exactly. He was
Yeah.
like, "Don't, you're useless." And so yeah,
He
that's
gets
why
got.
I got
He gets
confused
wasted.
at this gunfight because rewinding. No, it comes through the window, immediately kills Herzog. He gone.
And we got some BA stormtroopers in black armor.
Death Troopers,
Just
which
hanging
you will
out.
recognize
Oh
from
my
Rogue
God.
One.
They're all like 1 foot taller too than like other stormtroopers next to them.
Yeah, they were like personal bodyguards of important people.
and basically all the new recruits step out.
All the
Yeah.
I called them clean troopers
yeah.
because of the dirt troopers in the town. And all the
single
clean troopers
speck
show
of dirt.
up. Yeah,
And then a TIE fighter comes in, and we see, I think maybe first time ever.
this blew
TIE fighter landing?
my mind, and I love it.
Because everyone, it's been like a running joke, is like, how do those things land?
Yeah.
Like, how do you even do it? And it lands like a dainty butterfly.
The wings fold up, it just plops down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Now you got to make a
It was
toy with the
cool.
bendable wings on it.
Yeah,
It was so
I
cool.
loved it.
It was almost X-Wing esque. That's the one.
Yeah. Oh, it was awesome. I loved it. I can't even explain.
X-Wing XX.
how cool it was.
X.
Triple was starring Vin Diesel.
Oh
and
man.
Ice Cube.
Yep. And then out pops the guy who was just on the phone.
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Juan Carlo Esposito.
In his like Darth Vader cosplay.
Yeah, pretty much. He's got little light up chest.
Maybe he got
chest-
burned on Mustafar too. Maybe that's
chesticles.
just a thing people do now.
And then
They go pull a Vader and they just jump into some lava.
Quill has a comlink
fun.
thing, and the Mandalorian is trying to tell him, like, hey, are you at that ship? Like, you got to get the hell
Yeah,
out.
I was curious
Right.
about
But then the
this.
scout trooper overhears it.
It sounds like they intercept the signal or something.
They do.
And my understanding is too that like that's kind of the point of scout troopers is that their helmets are different because there's a lot of stuff built in for like communications and visual stuff because they're supposed to scout things out.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. That's because you don't get a lot of why they're different in.
And then Chet and Chaz
From
go
the
out
Jedi,
there with
but
those sweet speeder bikes.
They hop on their
Those
sick ass
motorbikes.
rides
Yeah.
and take off,
Yeah.
and you get like the dramatic plopping along on the blurg.
Yep.
Back to the just flying.
I know. I
Back
was
to the
like, there's
blur,
no way.
plopping
Yeah.
along.
And there's some like jump cuts here that's I think it's supposed to be ambiguous, but we see like Quill like almost make it to the ship, the hangar doors open, cut back to the cantina, Mandalorian's worried about him, cut back to the Mandalorian ship, the Baby Yoda's on the ground.
Yeah.
We don't see what happened. One of the scout troopers just like
Swoops him up, like Raising
takes him away.
Arizona style.
We cut over to the comm signal of the Mandalorian, be like, Quill, where are you? And then it pans up to Quill like passed out or dead, or he might be dead. I don't know if he's dead or
He's dead, guys.
They shot
could be
him.
dead.
He's dead, guys.
They
He
must
might be
have
dead.
shot him.
And see, this is what I'm like.
I'm sorry.
This is why I'm
not sure.
like,
I'm not 100%.
Taika Waititi's gonna come on out, see that the
He's
the
gonna go
dude who
raise him
gave
hell.
him new life
His
is
dad
dead.
yeah.
And he's gonna go and rescue everybody. He's gonna show up and he's gonna do his little spinny arms thing he did in episode 1 or 2 or whatever. and just murder the whole town.
And
be like,
earn back the
y'all are
Mandalorian's
done
trust."
because you killed my guy.
Yeah, we
That could be
lost.
true.
We lost some big characters. We lost Werner Herzog.
Yep.
We lost
Yeah.
Quill.
Oh,
we
yeah.
lost a Blurg.
I couldn't believe it. This episode was awesome. I loved it. It was.
I like that Werner Herzog even had a
Oh.
line that he said like we're going to end our narrative together.
Yes.
I was like,
At the
that's
Star
like a
Wars
little too
television
on the
show.
nose.
It's like, wait, what?
I was like, boing.
This was
right
just,
on the
like,
nose.
yeah, they weren't even actually supposed to be shooting.
Yeah.
Someone just left the camera on by accident. And he was just talking about the show, and they were
And
like,
he-
"Oh, cool shot." Leave
And
it
then he
in."
like turns around, and is like, "How was that, John? Did I do a good job?
Did I do it?
Like,
Will you
we're
fund
leaving
my
it.
documentary now?
This is. You should
Have you seen me eat my boot? I can eat it again.
Oh man, I'm so pumped for the finale.
Yeah, me too.
Man,
Yoda's in danger.
Yeah.
Mandalorian's in danger. How are they going to get? They're in a sticky situation. How are the Duke brothers going to get out of this one?
They're hanging out by a cliff. Is,
Like-
is that how you say it? Hanging out by hanging by a cliff? Hanging by.
is this a phrase?
Is that a phrase? Am I trying to make up a phrase? Is that what I'm realizing?
I don't know what you're doing.
We're coining one new one now. Hanging by the cliff, guys. We're gonna
We're hanging by the cliff.
cliffhanger.
Damn it.
Stallone movie?
Damn
Real
it.
close though.
Damn it. It is cliffhanger. That's a real hanging by the cliffer.
Yes.
So we'll see. It's wrapping up.
Oh man, I
Getting
can't
it done.
wait.
One episode left. This one aired early because they didn't want to step on the tail of Star Wars Episode 9.
Will
Oh my gosh.
guys, will his helmet come off?
No. They
No.
addressed that.
Only if that lady in that shrimp village takes it off.
You know,
Only if
maybe-
he's got to eat a little
Guys,
bit of lunch.
What if the last bit is he finally flies back to Shrimp Town?
No, they're setting
No
up for
way.
seasons and seasons.
And you don't
of the
even
show.
see him take it. You just see him put it down, and people run up, and you're like, "Bruh."
Listen, Shrimp Girl's gone.
No, Shrimp Girl's gonna be season 2.
Shrimp
She's
Girl's
gonna
gone.
come back.
Shrimp Girl coming back.
She gone.
That village is gonna be like burning, and Mandalorian's gonna like try to come for a visit, and he's like, "Oh no!" And then he's gonna find like that she got away, but like everyone else is dead, and she's gonna be like,
And he'll just be like, "Oh, I'm glad she was safe. Bye."
she'll be like a sharpshooter lady. Remember how good she was with the gun?
You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
You're
Ah.
right. Damn it.
Oh,
They
I
did
did.
set that
She
up.
can be the
for some
Mando's number
reason.
2 with that sniper rifle.
Something was brought to my attention by my coworker, who was probably as well versed in some of this stuff as I am, that in the episode where he gives Baby Yoda to Werner, originally turning
Episode
in
3,
the bounty,
the sin.
the scientist guy
Oh yeah,
has a patch on his coat that is supposedly the same patch from the Kaminoan clone facility where they made all the clone troopers.
okay.
So potentially that's what they're trying to clone Baby Yoda, and that's like why they were taking him and doing stuff with him. That's the experimentation.
I just assumed they were stealing his force juice.
I assume.
Oh, don't
I
call
mean,
it that.
I assumed
It's force goo.
they were trying to take the
Oh, come on. That's even worse.
trying to get the M word out of him, and I was just like, that makes sense, but I don't want that to be the case. But now they're like, oh, maybe it was just about cloning, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
as long as we don't have to bring midichlorians into this.
You said it.
We're trying to get his force cum.
Oh wow, yeah, okay. I think that's better than force juice. Yeah, that's better.
Wait, you're trying to find a better version of it?
No, it was worse.
That's why it's better. just make it filthy. But no, this episode got me so pumped. I can't wait for episode 9.
Let's get it over.
Like,
There's
it's
no
gonna be
episode 9, Andy.
incredible.
You're gonna have to wait like a year for episode 9.
Episode 8.
Because it'll be chapter 2 when you see
Let's
episode
talk about
9.
the movie episode 9.
Oh well.
Well, it's not going to address any of this
Yeah,
stuff.
this is the Mandalorian.
I don't like this.
podcast.
It's about
that
This is our
other
Star Wars
shit
It's
that's
about
podcast.
going
it's
on.
all Star Wars.
cares
That's
about-
all I want.
Did you see
is
the
more
reviews?
Star Wars all the time.
I didn't look at any of thing.
Well, I didn't read the
Yeah.
reviews, but like this morning it
saw
was
both
blasted. It
positive
was like
and
people don't like it.
I saw both sides.
You know what movie
so.
people hated when it came out? The Empire Strikes Back. And that just like that movie,
Really?
The Last Jedi will become the best of this trilogy.
Last
I
Jedi.
guarantee it.
I'm excited for this trilogy to be over.
Yeah.
I want
But
to see how it wraps up.
I want there to be more time between Star Wars movies.
You're tired?
And we're gonna
Too
get
much?
like episode chapter 10 in like 2
No,
years.
What? No.
Give me a break.
Well,
Wait,
maybe
so
time.
are we getting
Kathleen
the next
Kennedy-
episode Friday?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh
no,
my
Thursday.
gosh.
We got
Thursday?
tickets. We got
Thursday
tickets
night.
to go see it already.
No, the Mandalorian.
Next
Mandalorian.
next
I thought
Friday.
they were the movie.
It's next Friday.
chapter
Next
8 of the
Friday.
Mandalorian
Yeah,
comes out
they want
next
us
Friday.
kind of give it about a week from the movie.
Okay.
So give people some time to get hype about the film and then watch the last of the Mandalorian.
I need at least 5 years before episode 10 comes out.
They've said that they're
need
done
time.
with trilogies. Kathleen Kennedy supposedly has said they're done with trilogies. Now, they still have a
Trilogies are out.
spin-offs.
Now it's Octilibes.
As far as I know, Rian Johnson still has his 3-movie deal. That doesn't mean it's a trilogy. It just means he could make 3 Star Wars stories.
So they're like out of this series.
So they're going to do Avengers style where they're setting up things
Maybe
like,
they
into
might
a big event.
they might do one-offs like Solo. They might
doing
do
Marvel
some
films.
little bits like Rogue Ones and stuff. But
It's going to be Marvel films, Andy.
I mean,
You know it. I know it.
I like going to see those too.
And
I'm fine
then
with
10
it.
years from now, they'll do an Avengers Endgame for the Star Wars.
Yes.
I mean, they already did that though with these movies.
They did. They really
Everyone's
blew
in
their
here.
load.
I'm here for it though. Give
Maybe
me all
is
the Star Wars.
Ray and Finn, are they going to get their own spin-offs? Are we done with those characters?
I don't believe so. I know Boyega has pretty much said, I am so sick of Star Wars
Yeah.
that he has no interest of ever doing more Star Wars. They floated the idea of like, would you, if they were doing like a show or something, would you do it? He was like, get out.
Yeah.
Don't talk to
He just
me
wants
about
to do
more
other
Star
stuff.
Wars.
I
Yeah,
get
he's
it.
done.
Who is that?
He plays
Finn,
Finn.
the Stormtrooper, yeah.
That's what I thought.
I mean, he's solely responsible for there being a Pacific Rim 2 because he funded it and it
Yeah.
was like, I want to make a Pacific Rim 2. And thank goodness he did. Someone had to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he was the one. But if he wants to go do more projects or support other stuff, I'm on John
Do it,
Boyega.
man. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Well, why would you stop him? Don't
I know.
stop him.
Don't
Yeah.
stop him. He seems like he's doing the things he loves to do.
Daisy Ridley was in that Murder on the Orient Express movie a few years ago, so you know, she's trying to do some other roles. I mean, it is sort of the running joke of like the curse of Star Wars, where like for a lot of the people involved in the original trilogy, that their careers were really stagnant after
Yeah.
those movies.
Right. I think Adam Driver is like benefiting the most.
Yeah,
out of
Drivers. I
all
mean,
those people.
he's in everything forever, always, because he's the best, and he's just my boy. I mean,
I don't know how he ended up in being in like everything.
He just wants to work.
yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Gotta-
He
Well,
wants
it's
to do
not
a bunch
just
of weird
that.
movies.
well,
Can't do that.
what I would
he's picking really weird things to do. The Jim
very
Jarmusch
interesting
film
roles.
and-
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, very
He's
different
working with
roles.
he's working with cool directors and doing
And
interesting
then
projects.
Poe Dameron, what's the actor's name?
Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac. Yeah, I mean he's been in a ton of
Ex
stuff. Like Ex
Machina?
Machina is so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched that, go watch that freaking movie
It's
because
good.
it's really good and he's amazing. So I mean he's been in a lot already. So I don't think
And Lieutenant Huxley's in that
trouble.
movie too.
he's
Whatever
been
that
in a
guy's name
crap
is.
load of stuff.
Domhnall Gleeson.
He's in all sorts of things that you don't even realize. Like he's all over the place. So I don't think that there's going to be too much difficulty for any of them to move to new projects.
Yeah.
and I think that all of them are done with Star Wars.
Avatar can have the bi-yearly releases from now on. Let's give Star Wars a break.
I'm convinced that there will never be another Avatar released.
Till I
They will
see a
be
trailer.
talking about 2 through 10 for the next 20 years, and there will never be one.
Well, he's got to create like 7 whole languages before
Yeah,
he
that's
can make
true.
this movie.
He
The
has
only
to-
way that the vision works.
He has to invent the actual Avatar things, and that for the next ones to be
Wow,
real.
that would
So
be
it's going
great.
to take a little bit.
but in
you know?
papyrus.
Yes, of course, in the papyrus font.
There was a Bruce Willis movie that did that, Surrogates.
Well, that's true. You're not wrong.
What did it do?
Nobody remembers Surrogates. I don't even
No,
want to
it's-
explain it. There was a movie that was Avatar, but in the real world, where like Bruce Willis like would go into people's like bodies and stuff. It was dumb. It was
It was like
it was a
the
waste.
whole premise is like, you know, in a world where everyone like basically everyone like stays at home in a pod, and then their robot self goes out into the world and does all the regular stuff. They control it from their pod. So then like
Why would you do that?
no one's afraid of dying, because like if you get into a car accident, it's just your robot self that gets into a car accident. You're
surrogate
fine.
dies, yeah.
And so then like
Wait, you both have seen this movie?
I only seen the trailer.
I've seen the movie. But like at some point
I don't need to have seen the movie.
like him and some lady are like forced to actually try and like get through the world as their real selves, and
That's the stakes.
someone's out to get them too.
Oh, wait, is
and
this like a
they're like, if we die this time,
mid
we die for
2000s
real.
movie?
It came out like 5 years ago.
I think
in the last
was it
5
that
years.
soon? Wow, okay,
Probably,
yeah, I'm
Soon
pretty
after
sure.
Avatar. It was like 2009.
Oh, okay.
I saw it. Not in theaters though.
Alrighty.
This is what we remember about Surrogates.